This message came to you for a reason. Your mind is locked in what quantum physicists term an observer loop. Imagine a cosmic cycle where your mind folds the same waves of possibility over and over again, making the same reality every day. At this very now, a deep part of you is waking up because it knows this is real. You have thought about it, right? That feeling that you keep experiencing the same problems, talking about the same things, and going through the same heartaches. It's like if your life has become a lovely melody, but the record is broken and keeps playing the same sad note. You didn't just happen to be here reading these words. It's the perfect type of timing. It's as if your quantum field has been sending out a silent signal, trying to find the one frequency that will ultimately end this cycle. And the universe, which is incredibly smart, led you to this transmission in response. Right now, millions of people are scrolling past items, but a specific kind of soul, your kind of soul, would pause in its tracks because these words would pull it even harder. The quantum field chose you because you have the observer gene, which is a rare characteristic that not many people have. This is more than just spiritual poetry. It is the foundation of quantum mechanics. Your consciousness doesn't merely watch reality. It also changes it through something called the observer effect. But there is something that books never tell you. When your mind is locked in these loops, you don't only perceive the same reality. You are the one who is always making it happen. Take good care of your life. How often do you feel like you're reading the same sentences and seeing the same people over and over? How many times have you witnessed the same sad patterns happen at work, in your relationships, or even when you're alone? You're not working hard enough or experiencing a lot of terrible luck. Your mind is locked in an observer loop, picking the same familiar quantum cards from a deck of limitless possibilities without even knowing it. Press the like button as this fact starts to sink in. Think of it as more than just a click. It's an electric agreement that tells your cells you're ready to recognize the pattern and pick a new hand. How you handle time can be the best clue. Look at how it looks like it's bending and warping. Things that don't seem important can last forever, and weeks can go by with very little to show for them. This temporal distortion shows that your consciousness is definitely on a treadmill, going through the same probability templates over and over again. It seems like you're moving forward, but in the quantum realm, you're really static. Your relatives and friends might not get what you're going through. They might be living on a different frequency and be satisfied with how life goes on in a steady, predictable way. You have always understood deep down that reality is much more fluid and wonderful than most people choose to believe. There have been times when synchronicities felt like they were dancing around you like a heavenly symphony, particularly for you, and you could nearly touch the fabric of the cosmos. You already have this deep understanding. Your soul has been getting ready for this awakening across many lifetimes and planes. It was as if cosmic breadcrumbs led you to this conclusion regarding the observer loop. Every book that appeared to spring off the shelf, every spiritual path that seemed like home, and every startling flash of understanding that you couldn't describe. But now comes the critical portion that will either set you free or keep you in jail forever. A lot of the time, people who discover out they're in an observer loop make a significant mistake. They try to think their way out. They believe that if they can figure out how everything works, they can change how things work in the world. It's like staring at the light switch plan instead of just turning it on if you want to get out of a dark room. Your thoughts don't keep the observer loop going. It depends on how well you pay attention. When you wake up in the morning, your brain starts seeking for things it knows. It's like a quantum navigation system that has been programmed with the same old address and thinks it's the only safe place to travel. You are aware of the patterns of your problems, your emotional states, and the results you know you will obtain. The more you see these patterns, the more they stick with you. You think you'll see them more and more tomorrow as they get stronger. People who research quantum fields term this a reality feedback loop. Your observation makes the prison walls you want to escape from come to life. But right now, something really weird is going on in your quantum field as you read these lines. You will start to lose the observer loop's hold over you if you become aware of it. That's why you got this message now. Your higher self set up this meeting because you've reached a stage where it's not just feasible to break free, it's your destiny. If you really believe this recognition, say in the comments below, "I am aware of the loop, and I choose a new reality." This simple statement can be a strong anchor for your intention. You're not just typing words, you're putting a line in the quantum sand to tell the universe that the cycle ends with you. If you already feel the draw of this message, please share it before we go any farther. By doing this, you are putting out a quantum beacon that will call in other souls that are looking for the same frequency as you. Just like someone or something brought you here, you help them wake up. Do you get chills when you realize you've had the same talk before? Not simply a comparable one, but the identical wording, tone, and ending. A lot of people would just remark, "It's déjà vu," but you know it's not. There's a lot more going on. When you see a part of your observer loop that looks like an unending video reel, you are experiencing what quantum consciousness experts call temporal echoes. Don't assume this is just in your mind. You notice these anomalies in reality that most people overlook because you are tuned into a frequency that most of the world can't yet pick up. Your consciousness has become very sensitive to quantum effects, which means you can experience the unseen structure that makes things happen. You may have noticed that time seems to extend and shrink around you. When you get a lot of downloads and insights from higher levels, 1 hour can feel like a lifetime. After that, you could not recall what truly happened for weeks. This time, distortion is happening because your mind is moving between several realities at the same moment, hunting for the one that most closely matches the genuine music of your soul. What about those spontaneous, deep thoughts that seem to come out of nowhere? When you learn a secret about the cosmos that you haven't read about or heard in a class. These thoughts have a cause. In other incarnations, copies of you have already broken free from their own observer loops and conveyed these memories through quantum memories. Your intellect is so far along that it can see into the future. The weirdest thing is that this can sometimes make you feel lonely. When you try to tell your friends or family about these incredible things that happened, people stare at you like they don't understand what you're saying. People in the past still thought of reality as solid, fixed, and unchanging. You, on the other hand, have seen what's behind the curtain. What you've observed is that reality is more like a big, glittering sea of choices. Most individuals are merely drifting along, not knowing they can swim to any coast they choose. This is why certain books sound like they're singing to you from the other side of the store. That's why some films show up on your stream at the correct time. That's why you keep meeting people who think about life and consciousness in the same weirdly amazing way that you do. You don't just think positively, and then things happen at the same time. You are quantumly linked to a network of souls throughout the world who are waking up and working together to get out of their own observer loop. Subscribe to this channel to make your connection to this network stronger. It's not just about getting notifications. It's a conscious choice to tune your energy field to this frequency so you can stay connected to the wave of awakening. Like this video, if you've ever felt these echoes. This action acts as a quantum anchor, bringing your awareness back to this instant of recognition and confirming how sensitive your consciousness is. Your dreams have undoubtedly been more vivid and important lately, right? When you wake up, it's challenging for your mind to interpret the information you get while you sleep. They're not just random ideas. They're direct messages from your higher self that show you how far you are from the boundless, wonderful possibilities that are waiting for you. It's probable that the way you utilize technology has evolved too. You might feel like your phone knows what you're thinking, that your music app plays the song you need to hear, or that your social media feed reveals how you feel. This is not going to happen. It shows that your mind is becoming so clear that it can influence the quantum field around you in a way that can be measured. If you can relate to these experiences, show your respect for your own unique way of seeing things by saying, "I embrace my quantum sensitivity," in the comments. This isn't a hardship. It's the way your soul finds its way. Writing these thoughts is a method to validate yourself and fully accept the lovely and unique gift of your deeply aware mind. You didn't make a mistake when you went through any of the things that let you down, the routines that were unpleasant, or the times you felt like you were going backward. That was a holy method to be ready for this time of awakening. Your consciousness has to travel through the observer loop from every feasible angle in order to become quantum aware enough to go beyond it. Imagine a beautiful butterfly trying to get out of its chrysalis. It appears like anguish, being stuck and going backwards from the outside. But on the inside, every second of that fight is a magical rearranging of what it is. The caterpillar's DNA alters in more ways than merely gaining wings. These adjustments let the caterpillar use abilities that it already had. The hard relationships in your life weren't punishments. They were quantum mirrors that showed you exactly how you were seeing things that kept you bound in cycles. Anyone who made you feel something was an inadvertent guide who helped you identify the exact frequencies where your mind would become stuck. When something felt like déjà vu, it was really your higher self setting up a test to help you finally see how the observer loop works. And the stress you've been under lately? Do you think you need to figure things out right away because time is running out? That's not stress. That's your quantum field getting back to where it was before. Phase transition pressure is the word scientists use to talk about the pressure that builds up in a consciousness as it gets ready to move to a higher time frame. When water reaches the correct temperature, it turns into steam, just like everything else. You're getting near to the exact frequency where the observer loop can't hold on to reality anymore. There have been occasions when you weren't sure that were important. Every time you asked yourself that question, you got better at telling the difference between actual and made-up ideas. You learned how to identify the difference between spiritual bypassing and actual soul expansion as you worked on your quantum sensitivity. Your mind has to become quite clear in order to get through this change successfully. This is why the wait has been so long and hard. You knew a big change was coming, but you couldn't make it happen. You don't need willpower to get out of the observer loop, so that's why. It's about getting to a point where your mind can find new, more beautiful quantum field probability waves on its own. You knew that the observer loop would be explained while you were alive, which is why your soul decided to be in this body at this time. You choose to be one of the first waves of consciousness to break free from these restricting patterns, which set a new reality for all of humanity. Every fight you've ever had has made you ready for this holy responsibility. You are going through a change inside yourself right now as you read these lines. Do you feel it? Your energy has altered a little bit, like when you hit a tuning fork with the appropriate note. Your old reality starts to fall apart as your consciousness starts to resonate at a different frequency. Quantum physicists call this dissonance, reality turbulence. But this turmoil is a lovely and hopeful indication. Your observer loop is finally starting to break down. You are losing interest in the routines that helped you go through the same things over and over again. You are currently at the breakthrough phase, which is the most fragile and powerful aspect of your transition. A lot of folks make a significant mistake here. They can feel a lot of energy building up and want to send it out into the world right away. They desire to change their life, obtain more money, or make their relationships better. But changes to what you see don't break the observer loop. To break it, you need to shift the way you look at things in a big way. You are downloading new methods to interact with reality into your mind right now. You don't have to memorize these thoughts, since they are changes in energy that are happening at the cellular level. Your DNA is modifying its own code so that you can link with the quantum field in a new way. This could make you feel strange physically, affect your sleep patterns, or suddenly want different meals or activities. The most essential thing you can do at this time is to feel the energy without trying to control or direct it. Let it run through you like a river, building new, lovely paths in your imagination all by itself. You don't have to run this process. Let it see right through you and don't oppose the quantum reconfiguration that is already happening for you. This is the period when things could change for the better. But this is also when your worried ego could try to hold you back. Fear of the unknown makes it want to pull your attention back to the patterns you know, even if those patterns have hurt you a lot. This shouldn't be your narrative. You can observe everything that is happening right now, which is a miracle of consciousness evolution. Feel this strength. Take it all in. You won't again get locked in the same old loops again once you know how your attention was being held hostage. I really truly need to tell you something because I know you'll get it. Not too long ago, I became stuck in the smartest observer loop I'd ever seen. I felt I was spiritually aware and understood how quantum mechanics worked. But what I was really doing was using what I knew to build a smarter, more hidden cage for my thoughts. Every morning, I would check my reality right away to see if I was making any progress. Was my life better? Did my manifestations work? Did I change? This needy observation, on the other hand, was like putting my reality on hold. The more I attempted to change things, the more my mind continued becoming trapped in the same patterns. I can still recall the exact moment when I made a significant step forward. I was sitting in my usual spot to meditate and feeling really down because no matter how hard I tried to fix myself, the same problems kept coming again year after year. Then it hit me like a flash of lightning from a pure blue sky. The way I was looking at things was making them real. It felt like a cosmic DJ was playing the same sad music over and over again, and no matter how many good things you said, it wouldn't change. Press like if this story touches you. Make the decision to change the tune on purpose, and ask the universe with all your might to help you go from a track of repetition to a frequency of freedom. I stopped attempting to watch my way out of the loop and instead decided to watch the observer itself. That's when things really shifted. I started to pay attention to myself. Where did it go by itself? What forms did it cling to for comfort? This little change, this meta-observation, changed how I felt about my own mind totally. It now made sense to me why some individuals seem to glide through life, going from one great thing to the next, while others seem to be caught in cycles of suffering. You don't have to be good enough, have good karma, or be spiritual enough. It has everything to do with how our minds connect with the quantum world on a basic level. This one finding changed everything. I didn't even realize it, but I stopped putting people in the same old roles, and my relationships altered almost overnight. My imagination blasted off like a rocket when I stopped worrying about old anxieties and issues. My physical health also improved when my cells ceased receiving repetitive stress messages and began receiving novel, life-affirming information instead. But the most important thing I learned is that I'm not the only one who feels this way. People with souls like yours have been working on the same puzzle at the same time. People from all around the world are getting in touch with each other, sharing their thoughts and experiences, and creating a space that makes this transformation simpler for everyone. If this narrative touches home for you and you can feel the frequency of recognition lighting up your cells, you are also a part of this network. Even if you didn't know it, you've been getting ready for this your whole life. Please tune into this frequency, not just one channel, but the complete wave of consciousness evolution that is happening all around the world. If my story is similar to yours, please leave a comment below to confirm your new power. I am deciding what to look at. Let the act of penning these lines be a vibrational anchor, a sign to the universe that you are now looking at life as a creator instead of a reactor. This is when you stop thinking about what is and start thinking about what could be. Most quantum consciousness experts won't tell you this, since they don't completely understand it themselves. It is extremely different to know about the observer effect in your mind than it is to have a physical mastery of it. There is a big difference between knowledge and wisdom. You can read all the books and get all the theories, but you'll still be locked in your observer loop. The truth is shocking. Your thoughts don't shape your reality. Your focus doesn't even make your reality. The distinctive qualities of your reality come from how well your mind and the quantum field work together. You can't fabricate, coerce, or think this coherence into being. It happens on its own when your observer function stops being rigid and starts being flexible and free. Most people's minds work like spotlights. They are always looking for something and are very concentrated. A consciousness that is aware of quantum mechanics functions like sunlight. It is everywhere at once and lights up everything without any effort. When you go from spotlight mode to sunlight mode, you stop collapsing the same probability waves over and over. This observer loop keeps you stranded, since it makes it easy to guess what you're going to do next. You are simply ordering the same thing from the cosmic kitchen every morning when you wake up. If you check your phone for the same types of messages, worry about the same things, and plan on having the same kind of day, you're looking for the familiar. But what will really blow your head is that the quantum field wants to give you fresh and amazing experiences. There are always an infinite number of possibilities knocking on your door, but they can't get in since your observer loop is too busy reinforcing the existing ones. The universe isn't giving you what you need, so you're not stuck. Your mind is trapped because it has gotten used to how it functions with unlimited possibility. People who are the most advanced don't strive to change reality. They dance with it instead. We term their situation coherent uncertainty. It's a lovely spot where their mind is completely there and engaged, but not focused on one result. This allows them deal with actual life as it happens instead of just following a script. With this key, you can have a life full of flow and wonder. This is why some individuals seem to have easy lives, while others have a lot of hardship, even though they are going through the same things. It's not about being lucky or having good luck. It has to do with how well their minds fit together with the universe's creative force. When you achieve this coherence, you don't only change your own life. Everyone around you wants to change for the better. Just being present starts to produce quantum openings, which are occasions when other people's observer loops break down for a short time, allowing them to perceive their own boundless potential. You can see real evidence in your daily life that your observer loop is starting to fall apart. The big change in quantum physics is happening right now. First, you'll see that synchronicities are happening more often and are almost too good to be true. The universe is changing around your changing mind to make sure you are really breaking free. Watch how birds and other animals act around you. Animals can know when you're not in the observer loop because you give off a different kind of energy. If you've seen birds make more direct eye contact with you, strange creatures, or your pets behave in a new, more connected way, that's a good indicator. Your connection with technology is probably evolving too. Electronics could act funny or perform wonderfully when they're close to you. When you think of someone, your phone might ring, or your computer might not be able to open files that don't fit your new frequency. The things you're experiencing are your expanding consciousness interacting with the electromagnetic fields surrounding you. Consciousness has a big effect on technology. The way time feels is the most crucial sign. The observer loop keeps up the illusion of time moving in a straight line. As you break free, you will start to sense what mystics call the eternal now. When you are fully present, minutes might feel like hours, and days can go by in a happy flow since time isn't a straight line. Your sleeping habits are definitely changing. You could not need as much sleep but feel more rested, or your dreams might have become very real and full of meaning. Some nights, it could feel like you're downloading a lot of information right into your spirit. This is because you are now aware of more than just the limited bit of reality that your observer loop was giving you. Finally, people are treating you differently, even if you haven't done anything to change it. Some folks could feel weirdly tense around you since your free frequency is making their observer loops shake. People will be drawn to you like moths to a flame because they can sense the freedom that you are starting to represent. But the waiting time is gone now, and that's the most important thing. A lot of individuals need to get out of these loops right now. It's not supposed to scare you. It's just how physics works. Consciousness evolves in great waves, and we are at the peak of a massive wave that will never come again in our lifetimes. Your higher self arranged every experience in your life to get you to this moment of understanding, because the change you can make now is unlike any other. The collective field has reached a turning point. There are two options. Either people are waking up faster, or they are getting mired in their old patterns even more. There is no longer a middle ground. That's why you've felt so rushed. Your spirit understands that now is the exact moment when you will be free because you are reading these words right now. What you want is also looking for you. This isn't simply a nice thing to say. It's how the quantum universe operates. In the quantum world, there is a true probability wave for every profound desire, beautiful vision, and possibility that makes your heart sing. It is aggressively striving to become part of your reality. If you're in an observer loop, though, it can't get to you because you're not paying attention to it. The things you want that appear impossible or too good to be true are the ones that have the strongest quantum signature in your energy field. They only look impossible because they happen in a way that your current ways of seeing can't see. You are only one frequency shift away from living a life where those impossible things are your everyday reality. Like this video as a way to say you are ready for the frequency shift. Every like contributes to a wave of intention that makes it easier for you and everyone else watching to reach this timeline of endless possibilities. The most important difference that impacts everything is between attraction and alignment. The traditional principle of attraction argues that things should come to you. This makes the observer loop stronger, since it is founded on the wrong concept that you and your desire are not the same thing. You can really get in sync when you tear down the walls. It's the deep understanding that what you want is not separate from you at all. It's just a different form of your awareness that is already living that reality. When this understanding moves from your head to your heart, the observer loop loses all of its power, since there is no longer a you watching a separate it. This is why working so hard on something always makes it harder to get. When you look for proof in your life, you are looking from a place of lack and choosing the time frame of lack from an unlimited field. The quantum field doesn't respond to effort. It responds to coherence. When your consciousness becomes coherent, which means that your attention, intention, and energy are all singing the same beautiful song, reality has to change to fit you. You are already the site where things are happening, so nothing needs to happen. As this reality penetrates into your cells, there is less gap between you and your highest timeline. It's not because of what you're doing, but because you've stopped doing the things that were keeping you apart. Please leave a comment below if you wish to seal this energetic change. Write these bold and straightforward words. My most ambitious timetable makes sense. Don't touch it. This has nothing to do with being on social media. This is all about connecting your mind to the frequency where your best life already exists. When you say this from a position of real understanding, you are sending a clear message to the universe that your observer loop is finished and you are ready to receive. Please make a statement in the comments below that will make this energetic change permanent. Write down these short, strong words. I am in line with my highest timeline. Don't put anything else in. This isn't about getting people to use social media. This is about making a quantum link between your mind and the frequency where your most beautiful life already resides. A previous generation would have referred to the powers that are becoming apparent in your thoughts at this very now as superhuman. Nonetheless, they are the authentic manifestation of awareness when it is free from an observer loop. Things are becoming crystal clear to you ahead of time, since your intuition is becoming so powerful. This isn't due to your psychic abilities, but rather to a profound quantum harmony with unanticipated opportunities. As you develop into a reality fluid, you'll be able to intentionally shift between several probability pathways. So, you may go from a chronology of hardship to one of grace just by changing the quality of your observations. The lights, which were originally yellow, now flash green. A spot that's ideal for parking appears. Everyone benefits from the natural progression of conversation. When you stop dwelling on the same old ideas, you free up more mental space for innovation. Downloading insights straight from the unified field is now an option. Until you regained your composure, you couldn't have come up with these groundbreaking ideas or found these answers. People are responding to you differently now that you aren't unknowingly rehashing past relationship issues. You create an environment where people feel safe enough to be themselves around you. Your physical appearance is also evolving. If your cells are now receiving fresh, vital information, chronic issues may begin to resolve themselves. Your energy levels are stabilizing at a higher level now that you aren't squandering them on thought loops. You are now benefiting rather than suffering from the observer effect. Now that your consciousness operates from a place of love and coherence, every time you take a look at your world, you are choosing to experience more beautiful and aligned things. It is a blessing that you are here with us. Your plenty of money and resources isn't a result of some hidden skill. Rather, it is the result of your conscious decision to no longer choose scarce times. Now that you've broken free of restrictive habits, you attract like-minded individuals who have also achieved this state of being. Your social circle expands in tandem with your personal growth. The most significant shift, though, is the elimination of the pressure to conform. Feeling a tranquility that defies description, you are aware that you have arrived. It's complete for you. All it took was a moment for your habitual ways of looking at things to cloud your judgment. When it comes to creating things, coherence is king. It is the one and only thing that cannot be manufactured. When your energy, thoughts, feelings, and inner knowing all resonate at the same frequency, you transform into a creative force that the quantum field is compelled to obey. Oh, I see. This is the one and only secret that permanently removes the observer loop. But here's the thing. True coherence doesn't arise when you try to make yourself agree with everything. Most people fail to see this. When you stop keeping track of several timelines, it becomes apparent. Some of your ideas are probably still dwelling on the past. Concern about the future occupies another portion. Just a small amount is there. The observer loop relies on this division of focus, which allows you to exert influence over competing realities. The quantum realm can only provide coherent experiences to a coherent awareness. When your thoughts are all over the place, you will never be able to concentrate. Your life is going through a simultaneous improvement and worsening. This discordant thinking is more indicative of mental disarray than a cosmic test. The process of attaining genuine coherence is known as timeline consolidation by mystics. This is the conscious decision to reject any and all alternate realities in favor of the one that brings out your greatest joy and potential. Stop focusing on realities that aren't beneficial to you, and you'll notice a change in dimensions. This is more than simply hypothetical. Your last manifestation occurs when you realize you are coherent and cease striving to become such. Although you may feel fragmented or lost, your essential identity has remained intact. Coherence isn't something you make. It's something you find when you recall the art of letting your mind relax into its inherent unity. Because of this, your efforts will only lead to more difficulties. Life ceases to be a battle and becomes a lovely, creative manifestation of the cosmos when you attain this degree of coherence. All observer loops are terminated by this change in identity because there is no longer a distinct you that might become stuck. Not only is it an improved replica of your present life in the highest timeline, but it's an entirely new reality where the limitations of the past no longer exist. This is not the place for you. Earth is releasing itself from a collective observer loop that has ensnared humans in cycles of division, scarcity, and violence for thousands of years, and your soul arrived at this very moment as a result. Improving yourself is a major component of Earth's dimensional rise. A single individual's departure from the observer loop triggers a domino effect in the collective field, facilitating the simultaneous departure of thousands of others. This phenomenon is known as morphic resonance. By curing yourself, you are setting a new bar for what is achievable for the entire human race. Thanks to pioneers like you, the children of today will grow up with abilities that seem fantastical to us. Your fearlessness in challenging the foundations of reality is altering the course of human evolution. This is the source of the intense sense of duty you've been experiencing. Your spirit willingly joined the initial wave to demonstrate what is achievable when awareness operates from unity rather than terror. Worldwide, millions of souls are experiencing an awakening. The coincidences that led you here are but a little aspect of the larger plan. By utilizing quantum entanglement, we may establish a connection and create a light network that expedites the return of all individuals. Because whenever you leave the clutches of the collective field, you open the door to an endless array of fresh options. You will be free, and humanity will follow. Please forward this communication to an individual you believe would comprehend it, in order to remind them of something they already know to be true, rather than to convince them. The speed with which we may break free of old habits and give birth to a new earth depends on how many of us realize our full potential as conscious co-creators. Everything that is happening to you is a part of something greater. As a human, you help bring forth a new species. Please promise me something little if what I've stated has resonated with you and if reading this is triggering a memory. In the space provided, please write only one word: coherent. This very second, you are proclaiming a quantum fact. You are establishing a connection between your awareness and an infinite frequency throughout this process. The morphic field is strengthened by each individual who says this, which aids all those souls who are prepared to make this jump. Along with building a community, we are firmly establishing a new reality. Leaving the spectator role, however, is just the first step. You can accomplish things you never imagined imaginable when your consciousness is unencumbered. Quantum navigation is a term I'll be using in my next mail to instruct you on. Having this skill allows you to choose your own timeline in the here and now. Join today and enable push notifications by clicking the bell. You're not merely tuning into a channel, you're aligning yourself with a global evolutionary frequency. This is the end of an era. Will you be a part of the team responsible for conceptualizing and constructing the new? Your future self is already present when you live in a condition of harmony and grace. The only remaining question is the speed with which you will become one of them. Express yourself freely. Join the channel. Your entire environment has been patiently waiting for you to reawaken your sense of self. Today, your wait is ended. You should tell everyone you think would benefit from this message. Energy service like this is really effective. By sharing your light with others and bolstering the entire network of consciousness, it speeds up the collective transition. If you share this, you're not merely sending a video, you're conveying a message of liberation.